you notice something about the Greek pantheon and the Roman pantheon is what's not explained explicitly in those pantheons is who created the universe. These gods just somehow exist.
So my question is that I've been reading through the Old Testament lately, and kind of like the main theme is like obedience is better than sacrifice, right? So a lot of the problems that they experienced back then because of their idolatry, them worshiping other gods other than Yahweh, right? What would you have to say to people who believes in Jesus, but they give honor and reverence and acknowledge other gods except for the God of the Bible or Yahweh?
That they give honor and reverence to other gods and they're Christians, did you say?
Yeah.
I would say, why? Where are they coming up with that? If there's one thing that's clear in the scriptures is that you don't worship any other god. That's pretty much what the whole Old Testament is about, right? Why do the Jews keep getting disciplined? Because they're worshiping other gods all the time. So why would anybody, first of all, why would anybody believe there's another god? And then secondly, why would they want to worship another god if Jesus is the one true God? I guess they don't think Jesus is the one true God?
What if they don't think that they're worshiping other gods?
Well, maybe they're not. Why do you think they are?
Because of like what they do and like the honor and reverence that they give these other gods.
What are the other gods of which you speak?
Like Greek mythology.
Really? They think the Greek pantheon is true?
I think to a certain extent.
Huh. I even think today most Greeks wouldn't agree with that. I mean, they really think Zeus exists? I would ask them, what evidence do they have that Zeus exists? I would just say, because it's not your job to refute what they say, it's their job to support what they say. So if they say, well, Zeus exists and Athena and all these other gods, well, what evidence do you have for that? See what they say. Because, again, it's not your job to refute what they say, it's their job to support what they say. And, see why they think those beings exist. But you notice something about the Greek pantheon and the Roman pantheon is what's not explained explicitly in those pantheons is who created the universe. These gods just somehow exist, and they're supposed to explain certain phenomenon, whether it's crops or storms or, that kind of thing, or fertility. They're not really explanatory as we would in the modern world think of explanatory. We're looking for who created this whole universe and fine-tuned it and all that. They appear to have just pre-exist for some reason. And this is why it's foolish for somebody like Richard Dawkins and some other atheists who will say, well, you're an atheist on all the other gods, I just go one god further. To which we respond, yeah, we're not talking about gods inside the universe. We don't believe those exist. We're talking about the God who's outside the universe, the spaceless, timeless, immaterial, self-existent I am being that created and sustains all things. He is in a completely other category than Zeus and Athena and the pantheon gods. So I think maybe a little clarification as to what they mean, because if Zeus exists, he was created by Yahweh. Okay, but I just don't think Zeus exists. Does that make sense? All right. Thanks, Caleb.